If you want to undo your Kitchener stitch, you can just go back the way you came, follow where the working yarn is, and use your tapestry needle and go back in through exactly the way it came, right? Okay? And now this one, you're going to have to find out where it came through. You can loosen it up a little bit. There's your yarn right here. So just pull it with your fingers. Okay, and you can go back through with the tapestry needle. This is worth learning how to do, don't worry. Okay, so now we got this stitch right here. And we want to slip it back on the needle. The needle goes in from front to back. Okay, we've just undone one stitch. Now we look for the working yarn, here it is. And we go back in right the way that it came. Go back through. And we're basically going to undo what we did. See how that just popped out of there? Now the next one's a little bit difficult because the stitch is not on the needle. But here's the working yarn, so you can see where it was. You can see that it's through this piece right here, right? So you can just put it back through. And it pops out. Now we need to put this stitch back on the needle. Exactly the way from front to back. Okay? Now we've undone two stitches. So look at the working yarn. We're going to put the tapestry needle back through right where the yarn is coming through. And then pull. Like that. We've undone another stitch. Now it's time to keep on going. You can tug everything to loosen it up. That's what I would do. Here's the loose yarn. Okay, so you can pull it and pull it and pull it until, you can see that this is where it should go through. Just follow the yarn. There we go. Now we need to take this stitch and put the needle back in from front to back. Okay, exactly the way the yarn came out. Now here's the working yarn again. You can see that it's gone right through there, so we're going to put it back through. Just back through like this. And we're going to pull that off. That's always the easier one. Now this one, where the stitch is already off, is the more difficult, but if you loosen everything, you can see this is the loose piece of yarn right there. So you just pull it, pull, 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 pull. Let's see. Now I'm going to feed my yarn back through. Okay, now we need to put this stitch back on the needle. Okay? Good. We're getting there. Now, this one is a little bit easier because the stitch is on the needle, so we just feed this back through the way it came. And take that yarn out. And then let's see where this one is. See, there's the loose yarn. And you can even, if you want to, you can just take the tapestry needle off and put it aside and just use your fingers to just pull, right? You can just pull the tail out. You don't really need the tapestry needle. Alright, so now we're going to put this, open up the stitch, we're going to put the needle in from front to back. Okay, where's the loose yarn? Here it is. There it is right there, so you can just pull it. Just pull the tail out like that if you want. And just keep pulling the loose yarn. Pull the tail. And make sure that this needle goes in to the stitch from front to back. See how I did that? Front to back. Lift it up and put it on the needle. We'll find that loose yarn and just pull it out. Now the next one is more tricky, but we just tug around until we find it. There it is. So right where this yarn is coming out of is the stitch. See, I'm holding on to it with my left hand. Right there. That's where we need to put the needle in and get it back on. So we're getting there. This one's always the easiest because the stitch is already on the needle, so just pull the loose yarn. There we go. Pull the loose yarn. And put the stitch on the needle from front to back. Alright, we're getting there, we're almost there. This one's loose now. Just pull the tail out. Now we're almost done. See, I'm going to pull that stitch a little bit to make it bigger. This goes back on the needle, like that. This one comes out. And, are we almost done? We're almost done. We're not quite done. When we're done, we're going to be back in ready position. But see, you can sort of just keep picking at it until you can find where the loose yarn is. No. No, we're just going to see what's going on here. Because we had these setup rows at the beginning, this is a little bit difficult. Alright, so we have this one last stitch on here. There we go, we'll put the needle in from front to back. So now we have the original number of stitches. We have 8 on the front, and we have, whoops, we have 7 on the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which maybe is how many we started with? I don't know, but at any rate, I think I may have lost a stitch somewhere, but at any rate, this stitch is now, this is the yarn on the actual needle. This is part of the stitch. So we don't want to undo that, right? This is just part of our magic loop. So we can continue doing magic loop like normal.